Hello. Welcome. We're live on Uncanny Adventures, Skull and Shackles D&D 5th edition adventure. I'm Jeanette. I'm the dungeon master of this fine pirate crew, and we are hoping Kat comes back. She may have been having some internet issues, but we're going to get started, and if we have to, we'll bring her in when she gets back online. So, we've been away. Some things came up as in internet issues on my end last time. So we'll go around and say hi to our players and their characters, and then I'll give a little recap of where we are, and we'll jump back into this craziness. So we will start with our bard, Martins.
Hello, folks. So I am Walter, also known as GenlyAi, and as you probably know by now, I'm playing a bard, a very typical bard, at least for now. His name is Martins, and he likes to have a way around with people, using non-violence means. But we shall see what will happen with him today.
Excellent. And how about Miri?
Hi, everybody. I'm Brad, playing Miri Watersong, and sounds like he's headed back down to the bilges.
We love the bilges.
And got out of there.
Yeah, right. And Holt.
Hi everybody, I'm Paladin Hulk. I'm a Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday in Little Red Dot, and I'm also a regular on Margaret Cron's charity D&D game, which is starting up. It's awesome. And you can find me here.
Outstanding. And
Paladin Pirate.
I love that combination. I'm looking forward to that going forward. And how about our dear friend Bart?
Hi, I'm Dylan. I play Bartholomew Ignatius Seacaster, who's a Sahuagin bard. Eventually go to Swashbuckler at some point, so he's more of a fighty type, Quite a gentleman, if I do say so myself.
Oh yeah, got the Pride Give emote.
Oh, I love the Pride Give emote.
Yeah.
It's so cute. It looks like a Pride Kirby. Brad, what would you like to do with your 500 bits?
Well, that's for Martin.
Oh, there it is. I see it. Martin gets a wonderful little potion.
So I do have potion, and I'm not exactly sure what I should do with it. I should use it now.
No. So what happens is, much like donating a natural 20 or natural 1 or advantage and disadvantage, we will keep track of your potions. And during the course of the game, if something happens, it's just as if you have that potion in your inventory now. And
right.
For those watching, I have added that as a donation. If you look on the screen, I have my little donations in the lower left corner underneath Miri, Brad, and you can see what you can give our wonderful players if you would like to donate to help them. Or, you can always donate and help me. Someone was very generous in our last session, and I'm pretty flush on natural 20s at the moment. Speaking of our last session, when we last met on board the ship, the Wormwood, we went through, our I believe, second and third days on the ship. We're taking our time enjoying it. Everyone went about their business, doing their work in the rigging, on the decks. Martins was running around delivering messages. Bart's always doing helpful things with cooking and providing food to the crew. Befriending fish guts in the kitchen, hiding things in the cupboards, finding things in the cupboards, and specifically toward the end of the day, just, relaxing and or participating in games on board the ship. I do believe Miri was successful in a drinking game with the very angry dwarf with the broken nose, hence making making him more angry at his new fellow crewmates. He seems to be a bit bad-tempered with a handful of people now. But in the morning, when the crew was getting their morning tasks assigned, apparently young Jack Scrimshaw, who is another member of the crew, he's, probably barely out of his teenage years and likes to carve designs in various bones and things he can collect. Apparently, while he was in the bilges, something took a bite out of Jack. And Master Scourge and Mr. Plug have decided that Jack doesn't need to figure out what's going on. They're going to send down this crew. And so they've collected you all. They sent you below decks and told you to go figure out exactly what's down in the bilges and get rid of it. And so you did go down to the bilges. Cracked open the trap door. Miri climbed onto the ladder. Thunder waved what apparently turned out to be some rather large rodents swimming about in the muck and the 2 feet of water that sloshes about down there. And when we last left off, Bart leaped in and landed in the water.
What
I think we have a cat, so I'm going to fix the windows so
Hey.
Cat can
We do
jump
have
in
a
here
cat.
because we
Hi,
need our
guys.
Antoinette in the crew. So let me just
I
fix
am
that real
back.
quick. Excellent.
Perfect timing.
Yes, it is.
Good. What did I miss?
We
Nothing.
are
Nothing. We just did the
Nothing.
recap.
doing recaps and
excellent.
introductions.
Excellent.
So I'm going to fix these without even going to the away screen. We're going to go right on board. Boom. Martin's squared away and inside his space. And then move on over and find Cat. Antoinette. Aha. Oh no, now there's 2 Martins. Ah, hang on.
That's too
So
many.
as I no, that's fine. I mean, trying to fly with me.
Oh, there's a cat.
As far as I can see on my screen here,
Mhm.
I am just looking down into the village. It is on one back.
Yes, so, Miri was on the ladder. Bart had leaped into the water in the bilges, so he is actually in the bilges themselves. And Holt, Martins, and Antoinette were actually standing around the trapdoor, looking in and watching all of this happen. So, quickly, Antoinette, why don't you say hello and introduce yourself again to our audience? So that's you, Kat.
You fixed the screens?
Yeah, you are back. You are there. Like
Oh,
we
sorry.
have a
I
full
thought-
crew.
Hi. I'm Kat and I play Antoinette, the Storm Sorcerer.
Outstanding.
Yes.
And
Still trying to get all my windows back. My laptop crashed at the worst possible time.
these things happen.
They do. They do.
We-
It's annoying when they do.
Agreed. Also, Kat, just I reviewed for the rest of the crew what they still have as far as donated special nat 20s and things, and you have a nat 20 and an advantage still left. So just to make
Good.
note, and I also
Good.
reminded them I have a natural 1. Y'all, if y'all want to remember in case something comes up and you want to influence something one of the NPCs is doing. It is there, and it is waiting. But also, I have 5 natural 20s. So, revenge can be swift and sweet. No, I'm kidding.
Indeed.
So what we will do first is, as there are rats, and they appear to be angry now and hungry, we're going to start off a session with rolls for initiative.
Excellent. Let's find some
Okay.
rats.
Woohoo!
Initiative.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Anyone? I'm very initiativity person.
Hmm.
Very spry.
So good.
And Antoinette. Ooh, Antoinette is also ready
Look
for
at
this.
that 20 initiative.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright.
Now watch me not roll well for anything else.
I feel you. That was me last night in a game.
How it always goes.
As usual, Hawk's just kind of sitting back there and wondering what to do.
All right. So, the rats look like they're having a bit of trouble recovering from that thunder wave. So, Martins, as you're standing up above, and it's about 15 feet down the ladder into the water, you see these rats sort of swarming about in the water below.
All right. So I'm definitely not heading myself down there. So I'm just gonna be up where I am actually.
Okay.
Not moving, but I'm probably gonna. I also don't have any ranged weapon, and I would not want to miss it as well with it. Why not? I cast my first spell of the day. Okay. So I'm gonna say something like this. Okay, folks, don't worry about it. Things may be a little more colorful, a little more glittery, if you say so. So I'm gonna cast a fairy fire.
Ooh. Excellent. And where are you targeting your fairy fire?
So exactly in the middle of the village, and to cover and like that sort of cube, right?
Okay.
So and that means that the rats are up. I am 90% sure that this spell only works on my enemies and not my allies.
So it is any creature, so it will be anybody who's in that space.
I can make a dex save. Whatever.
Okay, don't worry about it. So and everybody should make, well, everybody, not every rat, because I'm sure you do something like a little more for a whole of them, or at least some of them in parts, and you have to do a dex saving throw, and or you'll be affected by a dim light, and any attack roll made if you have this dim light on you, if you have an attack roll made for on you, then that probably not was a good idea. But anyone have an advantage on attack roll made with some creature. Anyway, that's it.
All right. So when you cast it, so Miri and Bart also make a dexterity saving throw.
That's embarrassing.
Okay. So
That's even more embarrassing.
That is a little bit more embarrassing, yeah.
Now you all look, at least now you all look wonderful now.
Well,
thank you.
I look beautiful.
And
Which
did
color
you
did
see?
you pick? Which color did you pick? Because he can choose what color you want.
It's true. What color is it?
I picked I picked all the colors of the rainbow, of course.
Oh, okay.
If I could do that. And the DC is 13.
Okay. So everything in that 20-foot cube except one rat who ducks just goes underwater. Every other thing in that cube, including Bart and Miri, just start lighting up in various colors. Red, yellow, purple, green, blue. And it's good, you think, at this moment that the rats have lit up, because you can't see the one that went like that goes under the water. The others try the same trick, but you can see their little glowy forms now in the dark, brackish water that's underneath there. So you realize, that's actually
so
helpful.
Cool. There's so many lights everywhere. Look at those pretty rats in the water.
And
Also
Miri
It
and
good
reminds
Bart,
me of when I used to live at home with all the colourful fish in the sea. It was so pretty.
Glowing.
So you live it in a place with fish with several colors?
I did. I used to live in the ocean.
Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, exactly. And you have fish of several colors, exactly.
Okay, so Martins is concentrating on that. So you will be concentrating on that spell. That spell lasts up to a minute. And and it actually helps too because the bilges don't have a light source. So now it does make it much easier to see down into the bilges. So
No glowing poop? What the heck?
ha.
Yeah.
You don't want to know about the poop.
Well, it does say objects on the spell too.
That's true. It does say objects.
Well, there may in fact be some glowing poop down there as well. All right.
Wow.
So after Martins provides some light to this situation, Antoinette, what would you like to do?
So how many rats are we exactly talking?
So you can definitely see at this point, you can definitely see 3. You know there was a 4th one that you saw, and you can see some other movements, so you think there may be a couple more under the water. The ones that aren't lit up are actually hard to see because of the brackish water. Like, it gives them a little bit of cover.
So who's in the water with them?
So Bart is up to like knee deep in the water, and Miri is on the ladder, about maybe 5 feet down into the bilges.
It's fine.
Oh no. So I'm seeing Bart's hat, obviously. Glorious hat. I suppose with the rats which are now lit up and everything, and knowing where the hat is, would I be able to structure a thunder wave around that without hitting Bart? I'm happy to go in the water if that's necessary.
If you leaped into the water,
Yeah. Let's do it.
you could probably get 2 of them without getting Bart.
All right, let's do that. I shall leap into the water.
All right, just roll me an acrobatics check as you leap down into the bilges.
Acrobatics is... Oh god, not my forte.
Okay, that is good enough though. Miri, you watch as Antoinette leaps through the hole and rushes past you, and sort of uses Bart to spring alongside him. Mm-hmm. And you can attack the 2 rats to the left of yourself here. All right,
So
Constitution.
DC 13.
Constitution. Dire rats. All right, so rat number 1 will roll, and will
nat 20. Seriously?
deftly get away. Rat number 2.
And I'm sorry. In this case, you don't have my advantage of an attack.
This is
it's not an attack.
true.
It's a spell.
It's
Actually.
not an attack. No, it's not.
Very true. All right, so one of them does fail the saving throw.
All right. So the one who fails takes 12 damage
Oh,
and gets pushed back 10 feet if it still is alive.
you watch its little glowing body like.
Hey, it's a light show.
Actually, no. The one that goes flying, it gets lit up by all the other colors. It's the one that was still underwater that didn't light up. It went down and hid. You see its little body come shooting out of the water, and just hit against the other side, and just slide down. Its little wet furry form.
And the one who with a 20 takes half the damage.
Okay. So it squeaks in pain and tries to go deeper in the water, but you see its little pink lit up fur glowing down underneath you.
Oh, I feel bad. I feel bad. That's me done. I feel bad
Excellent. So after Antoinette, Miri, what would you like to do?
Oh, so I'm sitting on this ladder, and I can see Rat 4 lighting up, right?
Yes.
Is he within 5 feet of my 2 intrepid fellow adventurers here?
Let's see. So you can see actually Rat 5 is lit up over here.
Right.
And is not within 5 feet of your comrades.
So I am going to fire Ice Knife
Oh no!
at Rat 5 then.
Rat 5 squeaks in protest. You have advantage against with the attack roll because Rat 5 is in fact glowing a nice shade of yellow.
I do. All right. Why is it not working?
Uh-oh.
I'll just do it.
It's fair.
I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. D20 plus.
Aha! You hit rat number 5 with your ice knife. He squeaks in pain.
And that is 1d10. Oh, max damage.
He squeals in pain. You see all the little shards sticking out of him, little icy chunks in the frost on his fur. He still is well, actually no, that is enough to kill Rat 5 as he was damaged before by your thunder wave. So little number 5 just squeaks and dies.
So all the creatures within 5 feet of that must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, well, rat number 4 is within 5 feet, so it is going to try to get away from these shards of ice that you're firing. How is a 16?
That'll make it.
All right, you just hear a small squeak and a splashing sound on the other side of the ladder. There's a nice little sheen of ice where Rat's 5 is just sort of floating away now in the bilge water. Anything else for Miri?
Nope. I'm just gonna stay right up here on my ladder.
Outstanding.
Where I don't think the rats can get to me.
All right, Bart. You and Antoinette are standing in the water. There are rats glowing at your feet on the left and right. You also look down and see you're glowing.
Oh, well, I'm glowing a lovely shade of indigo, so Bart is going to hold out his rapier and he's going to stab at rat number 3, the pink one there. Just try and skewer it.
All right.
17?
17. You stab and you feel it stab into the little rat. You hear?
Okay. It's going to take 8 damage. 8 piercing.
You stab it and you go to pull your rapier back and you stand there for a minute and you look over. Oh, you have a skewered rat on the tip of your rapier.
Oh.
It is dying. Shake it.
Just scrape it against the ladder.
It floats away. Dead.
Let's see. I think Bart will move over to sort of get as close as he can to the other rats as well.
Okay.
You know.
Well, you do still have a rat to your right, like that you're standing next to. The beautiful looking blue rat number 6.
I see that. Can I get like over here?
Oh yeah, you can use the ladder to just sort of like you could just grab it and kind of leap, like hop over it. It squeaks and you see its teeth like try to chew as you go over, but it doesn't actually get an attack on you.
Okay, and I think Bart will like hang from the ladder like sort of over the rats to see if he can poke down next time.
Okay, Bart is on the bottom of the ladder and Miri is just above.
Yep.
Holt, you're looking down into this bilge watching this happen.
No. Why is everyone just jumping down like that? We could have had a major shooting from up there. Fuck. Then I also...
What do you think I'm doing?
On the other hand, Miri is on the ladder, so I guess I can't. So I stay up there.
Okay.
Because, I can't just bump him off. That's super rude.
So Holt admonishes the rest of you for your tactics. All right. So after Holt, you see the rats that are still down below. 2 of them are going to go after Bart, as he looks extremely tasty, and he is a very tasty color of purple at this point.
True.
Let's see. My rats. The first one, and he tries to bite you. And he bites you good. You are You are a tasty morsel.
What is it me getting hit by fucking crits this campaign?
I don't know. So the damage before the crit is 4, and then with an additional... Okay, so 5 total damage for the critical. As you leap up and you're on the ladder looking at the glowing blue rat, and from out of the water behind you, you feel the bite in your lower ankle. So non-glowing rat has latched on and bit in.
Stop that.
And as it does so, the glowing rat decides to do the same. How does a 21 sound?
21 will hit.
Alright, so you take 4 more piercing damage as now Mira, you watch as Bart has a rat on either ankle. And they chew for a second and then drop back into the water. And
blood coming between Bart's scales, you know.
And meanwhile, Antoinette, the water below your feet, you see a shape rise up. And a angry little rat squeaking as it goes to bite you. Does an 11 hit you, as you are not glowing, and so you do not grant advantage.
My AC is indeed 11.
Alright, so it does in fact get a nice little bite out of your shin as it comes up and bites in. You will take 4 points of piercing damage from the rat.
That's a lot for someone with 8 hit points. Ooh.
Tasty.
That's why I didn't jump in the water.
I thought I'd do something heroic.
Alright, so the rats that are still alive seem to be enjoying their tasty feast. Jack Scrimshaw may have escaped, but will all of you? Meanwhile, Martins, as you are concentrating on your spell, what would you like to do?
Yeah, so I still could move, I still could attack, and I still could cast a spell that doesn't require the concentration, right?
Indeed.
And so I took a look down, and I see how are they doing, how are my allies on this, and how are they doing health wise, like for example Bart. Is he
I'm bloodied, and one more attack would probably kill me. I'll say that.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend my last slot of my first spells actually, and I'm gonna say something like this. It's verbal wound, so I'm gonna say, Bart, I'm not sure if you believe in the great goddess Bismara.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you should. And then I hope she's listening to me, because I did some very tricky things lately. So yeah, I'm gonna cast a healing word on you, and that is 6 points of damage. Sorry.
I will take it.
Excellent.
Besmara's salty kisses on my skin.
And then I'm gonna say something like this. Now you look a little bit healthier, but still very glowing. So that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good color on you, Bart.
And that's my end of my turn.
Okay, so Antoinette, you have now been chewed on by a small rat, and it has, once again, as it lets go of your shin, it sort of dips back into the water beneath. What would you like to do? I think you are muted, Cat.
Yes, that's
there you go.
Alright, sorry, I just keep coughing. I don't want to cough everyone. So remind me, what time of day is this?
So this is early in the day. You all had come up on deck at the first bell, and instead of getting assigned a task, this is currently your task.
Sure. Okay. That's, so... Right, okay, that makes sense. I am going to... See, I keep wanting to use Chromatic Orb, but that just seems like overkill. So looking around me, I have rat number 1 next to me. I am going to use a lightning lure,
Ooh.
which is a fancy lightning-based spell. There we are. So, I'm gonna do a. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw, or be pulled up to 10 feet in a straight line towards you, and then take 1d8 lightning damage and 5 HP. Can you do a strength on rat number 1?
Rat number 1. All right, so you're not trying to use the pull. You just want it to take the lightning damage.
Yes. Oh, okay. So yeah. I just want to do the lightning. So that's 1d8.
All right. Well, let me see if it still gets the save, because I think it takes half if it makes it.
Yep.
All right, so it's going to roll. Where are you, my dear rat? All right, dexterity saving throw. Here we
Say it's strength.
go. Oh, I'm sorry, strength. Oh, well, its strength is way better than its dex.
Oh no.
All right, this arc of lightning picks up the rat.
Oh my god, only 2 damage.
It still squeals in pain, and you feel a little tingle when the lightning kind of hits the water. It doesn't damage anything, but you feel the tingle. The rat just poof, its wet fur poofs outward, and you see sparks across the fur as it squeals.
So Antoinette has actually never cast this spell before, and she's from under the water. You wouldn't cast a lightning spell under the water, and she's unsure about this new power, this electricity crackling around her, going through her veins, and she likes it.
Excellent. All right, do you stay where you are with the little rat as it drops back into the water?
Sure. I'll stand right here. I stand my ground.
Excellent. All right, Miri.
All right, seeing as how I don't have any weapons, and I am not going to cast my ice knife again with where these rats are compared to my allies, I'm actually going to scramble up the ladder and get out of the way and say, okay, guys, if you got weapons, go for it. That's all I'm going to do at my turn.
Miri exits the hatch. Bart, you are toe-to-toe with 2 rats. One, you can clearly see he's glowing a very nice blue. The other, you've lost a bit of track of. You can kind of notice, like, movement, but it's not as easy to find him.
Well, having just been bitten by this glowing rat, Bart's gonna say, "Let's see how you like it, mister!" And I'm gonna chomp down on him with my bite attack.
Squeak!
Oh, that's 20.
Squeak,
Okay. Oh, is that all?
One hell of a bite.
Squeak!
About that much damage.
The rat, you scoop it up in your teeth, and why don't I'm gonna let you describe how you rip apart this tiny little rat as he is dead.
I think Bart just kind of like plunges into the water and just snaps his shark teeth down on this little rat and just like shakes it around like a little like toy. And then he eats it, he just and since I have a racial called Hungry Jaws, I also get 3 temporary hit points, which is my Constitution modifier.
Little sustenance from your snack. Nice.
Yeah. And then I probably pull some hair out between my teeth, and I'm like, oh, goodness.
Antoinette, you have a front row seat to this display.
I'm enjoying it. If I had popcorn and knew what popcorn was, I'd be eating it right about now.
You enjoy it. I'm a little bit sick, but anyway.
All right. So after Bart has a little snack, Holt.
All right. Well, someone's out of the way, so I'm going to get down now. And I slide down the ladder and see if there's anything I can chop.
All right. You slide down the ladder into the bilges. When you get to the bottom, just to roll me. Actually, what's your passive perception, Holt?
Let's find out. Perception. I have a +1 in perception, so that would make it 11, I think.
Okay. You can make out rat number 4 a little bit. He's got some concealment, but you can see him because Bart is lighting the way for you with his beautiful glow.
As one. Did that work? Yeah, good.
Okay, so you attack into the water. There's a big splash as you attack, and you come up, and you think you may have missed the rat in the water.
Fuck.
It seems to be a foot or two off to the right, like the water. Your motion moved it a little ways away.
That's fair. Well, that's my turn.
All right, the rat. It will resurface, and it's going to try to have another bite out of Bart. Bart seemed to taste pretty good.
You little bugger.
So squeak, squeak, squeak.
At some point, they are bound to eat each other.
Yeah, maybe.
So
That actually won't hit.
all right, it tries to eat you, and the motion of the water from Holt's attack has thrown off its bite, and it just like nibbles at just air, and then sinks back in again. Meanwhile, its comrade did not like being electrocuted by lightning, and it comes out of the water, and this time instead of going for your legs, it tries to sort of scramble up and get a better bite up higher. So you see this really angry little rat come at your face. And does a 16 hit?
Yeah, it does.
All right. So this rat just splashes up out of the water, squealing, claws onto Antoinette and scrambles up and just gives a big old bite up near her shoulder area. And you take 4 points of piercing damage.
I suppose it'd be a bit late to say that you do have a natural 1.
Yes.
Okay, Antoinette is now at 0 hit points
Ah.
and sort of just gracefully falls to the floor. This went well.
The rat triumphantly rides down, holding on to the tunic, just like success. And there's a splash as
And she
Antoinette
gracefully slides into the poop.
And if I watch her slide underneath this dark, brackish water.
Yeah, lovely.
The rat is squealing cheerfully as it is now victorious and has captured its prey. Then, top of the round, Martins. You watch from the trapdoor up above. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm assuming that I cannot use my vicious mockery or rats, right?
Well,
Because
let's
they will-
see what Vicious Mockery
I mean-
says.
I mean, actually, it does say creature, but I don't think it's fair to say. No. So they must understand me. So I'm assuming they don't talk. Or they don't speak any language at all. So yeah.
I would say that you would definitely, Martins would think that, like, they're rats. They won't understand a joke.
So just hold on though. The way the spell reads is that they have to hear you. It need not understand you.
Oh.
They just have to hear you.
Ooh.
Aha.
Aha.
Well, that changes things.
So let's insert some rats. So I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery, and let's see what I'm gonna say to the rats.
Now, how many can you target with Vicious Mockery?
Just one, I'm afraid.
So you have a choice. You can either try to target... you can't really see from your vantage point the one that Holt and Bart are dealing with. It's submerged again. But you can definitely see the one that is victoriously chewing on Antoinette.
Yeah, so that's the one that I'm insulting. Let's see what can I say to. Actually, I have a pretty good insult, but that would work for a human. I'm just gonna say like this. Oi, hands up, my friends! You scaly beast, whatever you are. That's it.
And I believe I have to make a saving throw versus this.
Let me just put this here. Yeah, so my saving throw is 13, and
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, let's see. All right, let's see if the victorious rat can overcome this. He will make his wisdom roll, and will fail extraordinarily badly. Oh, it could almost have only gone one worse.
However, they only take 1d4 as a damage, so I'm gonna roll for that. Well, 4.
As this rat leans back and sticks its head up in the air, triumphant, all of a sudden one of its eyes twitches, and it rolls off of Antoinette and splashes into the water and just floats. Its little paws in the air as it dies from being viciously mocked.
It seemed at least like really, like really. I mean, not really, but a bit pissed it off.
You seem to have ruined what had become the best day of this rat's life.
Well, that's enough for me.
All right. After Martin's, Antoinette, I need a death saving throw, my dear.
So I'm going to go straight up and say I'm going to use the natural 20 that I still have. Because I don't really want to die.
Fantastic. Excellent.
So I would like to auto-succeed and come back with 1 hit point, please.
Let us see. So, you gasp and your eyes open and you watch the rat roll away and drop into the water.
Did I do this? Is this my lightning? I think I did it, basically.
All right, so that you wake, and that is the end of your turn. Miri, what would you like to do?
So I'm looking down and seeing all of this, and I'm thinking that they need some extra help with light because I think it's still a little dark out there. Because the only thing I see glowing besides me is Bart down there. So I'm going to touch the ladder and cast light on it.
All right, so the ladder, boom, lights up. And the area around you lights up, and now you have a better line of sight on this rat that is swimming under the water, and it seems to realize this is a bad situation. What? There's light. Oh no! You see it starting to try to paddle the other way away from the light when this happens. Bart.
Yeah. Bart's gonna take his rapier. He's like, "Oh no, you don't!" and stab down at the little rat in the water. 17.
You stab down and you feel it, and you hear you don't hear the rat so much as you see little bubbles coming out.
4 piercing damage.
4 piercing damage, and again, like you pull back your rapier. Whoa! And there's another rat on the tip. Just like a good skewer. A moment or two pass, and you don't see any more movement under the water.
I think we got them, my friends.
Well, all of them. That's it.
I think. Yes.
Look at how well we did this. We're really good at this.
Indeed.
Might worse for wear, though. Here, let me help you up.
Did you
Okay.
see the
I help
lightning?
up.
So-
The lightning I cast with my hands. There was lightning. How cool is that?
That is pretty cool.
It's awesome. That was awesome of you. Pretty good.
I like the
And-
light show you did.
and
I think that was pretty.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna not make you shiny in purple lights anymore, right? It's okay.
You can if you'd like. I mean, I don't mind it.
I don't
Okay.
mind.
It was useful.
But that tends to be a little on the heavy side of my mind. So I'm just gonna and end my spell.
The lights on both Miri and Bart disappear.
Do you guys want to come up out of there now?
I think
I ran up the ladder.
I'll give her a hand up.
Yay! Thank you.
so. I think some of you guys actually like to spend so much time on the beach. It's amazing.
I don't think
Especially,
anyone likes the bilge.
Not a bilge fan.
But like,
Not if
on
I
the
didn't go in the
beach,
water again.
That's it. There's no more rats like crawling in some hole somewhere under the water or something.
Give me a perception check to look around.
I will do so.
Okay. You don't see any more rats crawling around, but you do notice right at the bottom of the ladder, as the spell is fading from Martin's light, you can see there looks like there's a vial kind of stuck up against the ladder under the water.
Hello there.
I pick up the vial.
Alright, so you reach down and pick this vial up and take a look and kind of shake it around, and it's a red liquid with little golden motes floating around inside of it.
That's interesting.
and we all see that's happening.
Yes, you can all see Holt pick up this vial, and it's lit up because the ladder is still lit.
Anyone know what this is?
I do believe that's a healing potion. I found another one earlier today on the ship.
Oh, let me just stick that in my pocket then. That's going to come in handy, I fear.
Indeed. Good luck.
You should be careful about what may look like a healing potion and not be it. But anyway, it's up to you. I mean, if you want to hand that to me, and then I can run some checks on my own. That's fine. But up to you.
It was down in that poop water.
That does, yeah. You're making a good point. Yeah, you can have it, Martin. Enjoy.
Really? Are you handing that to me?
The poop water flask, yeah. Just, Godspeed.
All right. So I'm gonna get.
You'll owe me one, right? Like,
I suppose
friendship,
so.
That's how it works. We all help each other. You get this thing, and
Okay, so I have a potion of something. All right. I'm gonna mark here.
Do you want to attempt to identify it?
Right at this moment, probably not, because I don't think we should wait any longer here. Because if I try to identify it, I don't have a spell for it for once, and I also would probably need more time to run some checks. So I'm just gonna have it with me, and then at some point in the day I'm gonna try to identify it.
Excellent. Also, just a little update. Antoinette has now received a nat 20, a nat 1, and a healing potion.
Awesome timing.
Thank you for the donations.
All the things. Thank you.
So you all find yourselves standing now, looking at each other. No one else is currently below decks here where you are.
Mr. Plug is the one who asked us to take care of the bilges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
no.
Are we all kind of alone here? I sort of whisper to them.
Who else would be down here?
Yeah.
Who wants to be down here?
If you guys haven't noticed before, you do know that those folks who try to have you beat up a few like a day or two ago,
Plug.
that was I believe at least that was Master Scourge doing? I'm not sure if Mr. Plug is on
Mr.
it.
Scourge would never do such a thing. He's a good one. It's Mr. Plug that's the bad one.
Alright, if you say so, but I'm just...
Yeah, like we told Mr. Plug, no, we told Mr. Scourge that someone sent people to beat us up and he had no idea. So...
I mean,
Yeah,
he would
and
be
you
safe.
and you believe it.
Of course, Don.
Yeah.
Mr. Scourge wouldn't lie on me. He's an honest man. You know, he's direct. You know, he sees a problem and he goes after it. He doesn't like do all this sneaky sniping, backstabbing stuff. He's just like, he'd come up to you and say like, you bastard, and then punch you in the face.
That's true. He does seem the type.
How long have you known him for?
Not long enough. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, maybe I don't know him as well as I'd like, but that's like how I read him.
Alright. I'm not gonna try to.
But Mr. Plug, he's you don't want to mess with him. He's a right bastard.
Alright. If you
Like
say so.
everything that anyone on this whole crew says is like, oh, yeah, he's a bad one. That one, you want to steer clear. They don't say that about Mr. Scourge. They're a little more like, you know, he's rough. Maybe he's not very kind, but and nothing like that.
Okay.
I think
It's
all
okay.
of them are
Go
just.
ahead.
I think all of them are just worthless. We could do better.
Now, on our own, you need a whole crew.
Well,
You're not starting all
the,
this mutiny crap again.
I meant the leaders, not the crew.
I haven't even met the captain. I don't know what he's like.
That's a
Perfect
good point.
example.
The cook seems fine. Like we've
He's
had a
part of the
little
crew.
chat.
He's the crew.
Fish guts is quite nice. Yes.
The crew is good.
He's
The
command,
captain,
right?
the
He's
first
head
mate.
of culinary arts.
Yes.
Captain and the first mate.
Yeah.
Don't know
I
the
do-
captain. I don't particularly care for the first mate. I do like Mr. Scourge, but you know,
Meh.
maybe that's just me.
No, it's okay. And in any case, you know, I have your back. Right?
And
But it's nice
regardless,
of you to say, Mize. Same to you. You know, assuming you don't do anything stupid like mutiny.
well,
I've never done that.
I
Just
said I
saying.
would do it again. I said I
I
wouldn't
did
do it
not
again.
do that. Come on. Okay, so if anyone has more secrets or more rumors to share, I believe we should tell that we have dealt with the problem.
indeed.
Yeah, let's go report back, I think.
Yeah, but let's go talk to Mr. Scourge and not Mr. Plug.
And perhaps
We could do that.
perhaps Holt can go ahead because
How about you lead the way, Hold? We're right here behind you.
Oh, that's fine. And I go see Mr. Scourge.
Are we right behind him, guys?
I mean,
Sure, why not?
Now,
I'll go behind him.
We'll sort of bumble along behind him.
We took care of the rats, so
I will say that as you say this and you all start to head for the stairs that lead up to the upper decks, both Miri and Antoinette, you think about it and you realize that you were sent down here without any sort of timetable to finish, and you handled this pretty quickly. And you know, you kind of think that nobody maybe is expecting you for a bit. But that's what you're thinking as you start to follow the rest of the group up the stairs.
Mhm. That only applies to them.
That they kind of get that hint as the rest of you, or like they kind of both think of that at the same time as they're going up. Like, it just kind of occurs to them like every other day that you've been given tasks, you are usually sent on your own and not really overseen to do it. And this was the only task you were given this morning.
hey, hold
Yeah?
Hold up, hold.
up a minute.
Holt.
You know, that's how I got his name. Like, what can I do for you?
Do you really want to do more work today?
Well, not really, but like I have to think of that's how we earn our place here, right? We do the work, we show that we're committed to being good pirates, and then eventually they'll stop sending people to pick us up.
But like we've done,
Ideally.
they've asked us if we tell someone that we've finished this already. I don't think they're going to be impressed on how quick we are. I think they're more likely going to give us more work. Maybe we should just like hold back a bit. Halt.
And Antoinette. And...
Lie? I don't know.
No.
Not lie.
Not
just
lie.
not yet go to and tell them. Maybe we'll just. Have you? I mean, Hulk, you want to be here, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I'm not
have
as
you-
sure as I
have you
was when I
actually-
bought it.
Have you actually seen every aspect, every part of the ship yet? I think we should have a look around.
Well, I was
Because I mean,
thinking.
you can't be a good pirate if you don't know every part of the ship.
I don't know, Bart.
I
Not
do
tonight.
suspect
You
that
don't.
there might be more rats, so maybe we should just give everything a quick look over, see if there's no like sneaky rats
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
else.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's just do
Yeah,
that.
However,
And
as
Bart and Antoinette aren't looking too good either.
No.
that's true. You should at least have some rest.
That is true. We should rest up.
However, as they are saying that back and forth, I'm gonna try to sneak off of the group,
You bastard.
and hopefully they're not gonna notice. So what should I roll for that?
All right. So if you're trying to sneak away and everyone's talking, I will have you roll a stealth check. But because you all were kind of together, I'm gonna have you roll with disadvantage because you really are sort of like there with them.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, God.
So while you all are talking, yes, Martins, you just sort of slip away. What are you doing as you slip away?
All right. What should I do first? So as I was doing that round of messages around, have I noticed any room in particular that has any kind of interesting objects or interesting old documents or something like that? Well, not in the room of the captain or however it's called, but any other kind of room.
So you noticed as you were going about your delivering the day before that there did appear to be inside the officers' quarters up off the main deck. There were 2 doors that you hadn't seen inside of, and you did have to deliver a note to one of the 2 doors, and you sort of quickly knocked, and the door had only opened a crack or so, but it looked like maybe it was like a small space, like there was some parchment on tables that you saw quickly, and maybe a few beakers and things set up. It looked like somebody's small, maybe experiment area, and you didn't get a very good look as a hand just sort of shot out, snatched the note out of your hand, and then pulled the door shut again. So that is a room, and you do know that there's a second door on the opposite side of the officers' quarters that you didn't get a chance to look inside of, and you've never seen that other door open. You also know that in the area where everyone else is that you just slipped away from, that all the crew have various lockers that they keep their personal goods in. But other than that, you haven't really seen any kind of hiding spots. You've never gotten a chance to look inside of Cutthroat and Fishgut's room on the mid-deck.
But do I
It
know?
looks like the honeymoon suite with like this heart-shaped bed and roses, everything
Probably.
red.
Or is I was gonna say something, but I'm not, because this is PG PG 13 or something like that. But anyway, yeah. But however, do I know where the rooms of that other persons are, or do I have any, or don't I have any idea?
The room that Cutthroat and Fish Guts use? Yes, you know that it is on the mid deck. It is just off the kitchen. Under the door to it is sort of underneath the stairs that lead up to the captain's quarters.
So it's probably near that room where I once also had a night there.
It is just outside. Yeah, so basically the quartermaster store is inside the same door as the kitchen area, the galley. This door to their room is actually in the middle decks, like main area, kind of where the pigs are all running around getting out of their cages. So, but it is right in that same area.
Yeah, I'm not gonna risk any more trouble with those persons. So I'm gonna go with that room, which seemed to be shut down, and I hadn't seen what was inside. And
Okay.
I'll try to do that in a how to say in English, non-conspicuously way, right?
Okay.
And but not exactly being furtive. So just heading my way.
Okay, so as you make your way stealthily up the stairs, heading for the officers' quarters and this door that you saw that you're curious as to what it's behind, the rest of you are in conversation. What are you all doing?
Have you noticed I was gone?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Did we? It's been a little while since our last session. Do we know actually now? I know there were some issues, but do we know where the ship's actually headed?
You have not been given any specifics as to where you're going.
But there were some issues. There's some conversation we overheard before, where there was two of the crew arguing or something over. We haven't had enough income lately. Why are we going this way when all the money is another way, right?
You did
Yeah.
hear it sounded like, and from what you all could tell that were paying attention, it seemed as if you had left the port city, Port Peril, and
Such a catchy name.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Port Peril.
and it appeared you were sailing almost directly north through the bay out of Port Peril.
Okay. Would I know, coming from the sea, obviously the sea is huge, but what the general direction is that we're going, what is there?
Ah, let us find out.
It's actually a very nice question.
It's a very good question.
It is.
Oh, thank you. I try.
So, fixing my my Roll20 window that was cut off. Fix that, baby.
Excellent.
So I'm proficient navigator tools. So does that help?
I would say that yes, it can give advantage to. I would say a let's see. I don't really have geography, so I would say you can either go with a straight intelligence roll or a nature roll to kind of determine.
What, for me? I'm not good at any of those.
Oh no!
How about I do persuasion and I persuade the sea to tell me?
I'm gonna go talk to a fish. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Alright, why not? Why not go for nature? Why not?
Ooh,
You have advantage.
with advantage. That's a very good roll.
You know exactly where you're going.
Exactly.
All right,
My
so
nature tells me everything.
let me locate my map amongst my many notes.
I do apologize, by the way, if you can hear the dogs snowing in the background.
Yeah, it's just, there might be a dog stowed away on the boat.
Exactly. Or maybe it's the monster that is on one of the lower decks. that
Oh,
we
no.
can't yet discover.
The monster that's going to eat someone. Who knows who? Hopefully not Bart. Bart got eaten up quite a bit, and so did Antoinette, so...
Yeah. I mean, I bit back. You know.
did. That was pretty tasty, too, right?
No, not particularly.
Well, that's fair. Alright, let's see.
Little poop-covered rat.
So, you know that heading north out of Port Peril... You are heading northward, and you do know that to the north there are some islands in that direction. But it doesn't go toward a specific trade route in that way. It's more, if you kept going directly north, you think that you would run into Widowmaker's Isle, which you don't really know too much about. You probably have never been that far north. You probably have been more further out into the west. But
Widowmaker Isle sounds about as cheerful as Port Peril.
Yeah.
Who's given these places these names? Terrible.
Let's see. If you want to roll me a history check.
Sure, I'd love to do that. I doubt I would have come across much, but let us see. Oh, my history's a 1-2. There we are. 11.
Yeah, so you are not very familiar with what lies north at Widowmaker Isle. It is, as far as you know, unexplored at this point.
Yeah. So, guys, has any one of you guys ever come across Widowmaker Isle? So I think, based on the direction we're going, I've never been there. I've only ever heard of it. Like, oh, in that direction is Widowmaker Isle. Has any one of you heard of it before?
Never left my hometown before this, so no.
So I've been out at sea before on fishing vessels. Would I have heard of something like that?
Roll me a history check and let's find out.
No.
You've
I have
never
also
made
been
it
a
that
sailor.
far.
Could I also try a history check?
Didn't
Yes.
venture that far south.
I once saw water, can I?
Oh my god.
Oh my word.
Nope, never.
So aside from the passing name, no one has gotten more details. Apparently, not much has been said about it, or those that know about it maybe don't come back very often.
Maybe we should ask the crew, like Hulk, you want to do the whole pirating thing. Isn't it weird that none of us know where we're going or what we're doing?
That's a little unusual. I'm more concerned that none of us have been trained how to fight.
It's true.
Hey, did you
Not that
guys
I
see? I had lightning.
I'm concerned I don't have my weapons.
That is concerning.
Yeah, that is concerning.
Well, I don't know anything about magic, so like, is that you worried about your lightning hands?
That's mostly what I use as magic, but every once in a while you need a little extra.
What kind of weapons would you need?
A crossbow, maybe some daggers.
Daggers would be cool. Crossbow would be cool.
Yeah, it would. No, I have to think that they hand those out when the fighting starts, but
That seems
they've
a
been
bit
so
weird.
weird about all this stuff that they've got. I don't know.
Keep your eyes peeled if you see any equipment lying
Like,
around.
they sent us to fight those rats without any weapons. Like, it's lucky I had this axe, and
No.
Where did you
found
find
some
that
weapons
from
lying
anyway?
around, but like, you assume that they just be like, "Oh, we want you to go kill something. Here's an axe."
Where'd you find your axe?
I've got a hand axe. I found it in the goop.
Right,
Not
right,
great,
right.
but you know, it's better than just punching it.
Well, I mean, I would quite like some of my things back.
At this point, you all kind of like, you kind of do a left and a right and look around yourselves as you realize
Are we
Martin's...
seriously lost on the ship?
No, it's more, it's
Not
more,
that big.
it's more you realize that Martin's hasn't piped in a little bit during the conversation.
has been oddly peaceful.
Did Martin mess us up and go upstairs?
Did he go tell Mr. Scourge that he did it all himself? That bastard!
Man.
Charge after go find Mr. Scourge to tell him that we're done.
All right. So meanwhile, Martins, you had made your way upstairs, and you were heading for this room in the officers' quarters. Now let me see. As you come to the top of the stairs inside their quarters on the main deck, you slip past where the large muscular shirtless fellow is still chained up to the mast.
Wow.
in the mid deck, just sitting forlornly. Sort of as you pass by, he's actually like poking at a nail with his finger and trying to like pull at the nail, and he doesn't notice you as you go by him and go up the stairs. You reach the top of the stairs, and you don't see anyone currently inside the officers' quarters, and the door that leads out to the main deck is closed currently. Actually, there's 2 doors on either side. Both of them are closed, so it's quiet in here at the moment. You can hear coming from the room where you delivered the message yesterday. It sounds like someone's inside that room. So both of these other doors are closed on either side as well. What do you want to do?
And the other room that I am most interested about, I hear anything from it?
You can make a perception check.
Yeah, I knew that I was going to say that. Just a sec. I seem to lost. So just a 6, and I did not use my advantage, so it's just a 6.
So you don't hear anything behind the door of the room that you're curious about. Also, just so you have a better idea of this, the officers' quarters that you're in, when you come upstairs, the room it's got a couple of hammocks and sleeping mats. The sleeping mats are kind of rolled up and set to one side. The hammocks are still strung between 2 of the posts. It looks like the officers all kind of cram themselves in here at night. You know, obviously, the 2 doors that lead out to the deck. You're standing at the door that you are not sure what is behind. You can also see that the officers have their footlockers set against the wall here. So there are a handful of footlockers kind of stashed in the area. And
that's more interesting. That's also interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Much more interesting than the locks that we had done there.
You also notice there is a keyhole in the door that you've gone up to inspect, so it looks like there may have a locking mechanism to it.
Okay. Well, so first I'm gonna try to see if it is not locked, of course. So I'm gonna slowly like try to open, and assuming it is locked, I'm gonna try to unfortunately I don't have any tools for that, but I'm gonna try to use my dagger, because I do have one dagger with me, and make it like a tool that I would like to try to pick that lock.
Okay, so roll me a dexterity check to try to pick the lock on this door.
It's just a straight
dexterity, because you're not using thieves' tools. So
all right.
You don't... All right, so you try to kind of pry the dagger into the lock. You start sort of turning it, and let's see. And you are just like kind of listening, about to maybe give up, when you hear a click, and the lock seems to give.
and then I mouth something like this. Thank you, Besmara. Thank you.
This room is where we keep all the zombies. Enjoy.
We shall see. Yeah, so slowly I open the door and take a peek inside.
All right, you open the door. It comes open, and you see there's a small chamber beyond the door. And this chamber is crammed with chests and neatly ordered weapons racks. Looking around, you can see on the weapons rack, there's a whole bunch of clubs. You see at least a dozen heavy crossbows. There's more than a dozen cutlasses. You also notice they have javelins stacked sort of at the back of the rack, and there's just multiple dozens of javelins. You can see they have about a dozen short spears. There's some grappling hooks attached to rope. You can see two chests that are, of decent size. You see there's 3 other chests that are smaller, sort of set closer to the ground, kind of stacked more carefully. There's a couple of very large chests sort of crammed to the right, about like 4 of them stacked floor to ceiling, pretty big. They must, they probably hold some large stuff, and you just sort of like kind of are taking this in, and then you hear footsteps from the stairs below as you're standing there with the door open, looking in, just sort of taking in what's inside this room.
Right. That's probably not the very best idea, but well, I'm gonna do what I always do, what I did before. So I'm gonna try to hide behind one of the if I can find some place that I can get behind, as opposed to the door,
So do you want to hide behind something inside this small chamber, or do you want to hide behind something in the officers' quarters that you're in?
Inside the chamber.
All right. So stepping inside, you do realize that you could pull the door shut behind you, and then worry about finding a place to hide.
Shut the door from the actual chamber, you mean?
All right. So, the rest of you are making your way upstairs. You come up to the mid deck, and following behind Holt. Does everybody continue to follow and stay together?
I will.
Yes, I'm gonna look around to see if I can see our missing person.
Okay, so if you're actively looking around, you can roll me perception checks to look for Martins.
I'm just looking for Mrs. Scourge.
Okay.
I don't see him anywhere.
And don't forget, if you roll perception checks and you get below your passive perception, use your passive perception, because that's, you're just rolling to do better. All right, so you all come up to the mid decks. You pass by the forlorn figure, who is still pulling at the nail, and then looks up a little slack-jawed as you all pass by, and just watches one after the other go past him. And then as you come upstairs into the officer quarters, and Martins, just roll me a sleight of hand check.
Just a sec.
Okay. Does anyone's passive perception beat a 13?
No.
Mine is a 13.
Yours is a 13. So as you all are passing through the officers' quarters, and Holt opens the door to go out onto the main deck looking for Master Scourge, Bart, you notice the door to your right just closing, and you've passed this door a handful of times. You've never seen it opened or closed as you go by.
Well, I'll just continue on. I don't know what exactly it is, but I don't want to mess with it.
Okay, so all of you come out on deck.
Coward.
into
love
into
it.
the sun of the morning. You haven't spent very much time down below. Your fellow crew members are going about their tasks, and you can see Mr. Plug and the captain up at the back behind the wheel. The angry dwarf is once again at the wheel, steering the ship, Mr. Narwhal, and Master Scourge is moving about, inspecting the work of the various swabs on deck.
All right. Well, we move up. Oi, Mr. Scourge, we did it.
What?
At least I think we did.
Yes, we did.
You did
No
it,
thinking.
or you didn't do it. What is this?
We
think?
did.
No one's getting paid to think.
We killed every rat we could find, but you know rats, sir. Like there could be more. I don't know. We should keep an eye out. If there's any more, I'll go back and I'll kill them. I don't think there is.
I don't want to see any more rats.
Yeah, me neither. Those things were disgusting. They were about this big. Horrible.
They were.
Like I don't know. I understand why everyone's having such trouble with these things.
Did you stick your head under the water in the bilges and inspect closely every square foot?
Yes.
We did our best.
Yes.
I did put my head in the water, yes.
We couldn't see any more, but rats. There could be. I can't guarantee nothing. Those things get in anywhere. We had a look around. Didn't see anything.
Did it appears that perhaps the rats ate one of you.
Yeah, we don't know where Martins went. We were walking around, making sure they didn't crawl up the ladder or something, and then it was just gone.
You don't know where your crew member went.
I don't. No idea.
We thought he came up to see you, perhaps.
Yeah, it'd be like, did it all myself, but guess not.
I haven't seen him in the 20 minutes since I sent you below.
Has it really just been 20 minutes?
Only 20 minutes.
It has not been. It has not
did
been
finish
very
that.
long at all.
Boy, how time flies by when you're having fun.
I don't believe you could have cleared out the whole problem in such a short amount of time.
Well, you're welcome to come and check it out.
I don't
Feel
want to
free.
have to. I don't want to have to check it out. I want to know
Yeah.
that tomorrow, when I send someone to clean the bilges, I'm not going to hear any lollygagging and whining about, oh, something bit me on my behind.
Now, if it makes you
You
feel
won't.
bad, I'll go and clean the bilges.
Oh, volunteer.
Yeah, all him. Not me.
He looks at you and he says, "Oh, do you want to be on bilge duty permanently?"
So if that's what you would like, you're my boss. If you think that's where I'm best suited.
Well, I can't throw you overboard. I've been told I'm not allowed to.
Why would you throw me overboard? That's such a mean thing to say.
He just looks Holt up and down. His left eye, there's a little blood vessel that just sort of does this, like, twitching, pulsing thing above the left eye. He says, "So do you need more work then for today?" Actually, he looks around. He's like, "Where is what's his name?"
Martins. I don't know. He just vanished.
Well, I think maybe, since I sent you all down together, you're responsible for each other. And I think
That's
maybe
a
you
buff.
need to find him. Or I have to punish
That is
all of
fair.
you for him being missing.
All right, let's spread out, Lord.
I will say, if
Let's
you
get
just
punished,
told me
yeah.
that, if you only told me the rats had eaten him, it would have made me happier.
Well, he might have gone back down there and got eaten by something other than rats. We killed all the rats.
You have something stuck in your teeth.
Oh,
That's one of the rats. He just bit his head off.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about my job.
He just
That-
watches you picking your teeth. He takes a step away from Bart and his teeth. Scowls. You just see rows of golden teeth in his mouth.
I'll take out one of my pig bone darts and actually pick my teeth, make sure it's all clean.
So I'm gonna send you back down and find your wayward shipmate. And I expect to see if I send a group of you one place, I expect to see all of you come back together. Can't trust pirate types, you know.
Clearly.
That is fair. It could be anywhere doing anything. I'll get right to it.
If anything goes missing or gets broken, and he looks at Hulk, I'll hold you personally responsible.
Oh, fine.
Poor Hulk, every time.
Yeah. Martins is running around with this giant sack of gold pieces.
He made it do it.
Martins just leaves like one thing in Holt's hammock at night so that when they search they find it and then tick 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 tick. So, as this conversation is going on, Martins, you slipped inside this room and pulled the door shut behind you. So it's dark in here. I don't know. Did you have dark vision? I don't think you have dark vision. So you're kind of in the dark inside, kind of standing in the only real empty space between all these chests and this weapons rack full of items.
Right. It would be. I mean, I knew. So, I assumed that just before I shut the door, I had some light from it. Right. So I knew more or less the.
There was a
the
lantern
area.
hanging in the officers' quarters that when the door was open, it shined some light in here. So you were able to take in briefly what was in here. But now you've shut it, and there's not enough light through the under door and cracks to light it up at all. So.
Okay, I'm just thinking that how dangerous it would be if I try to identify a particular type of weapon among all of them with my hands. Actually, I'm looking actually for a sort of weapon like a dagger or a short sword that I could like try to hide myself. A very good looking or knife or dagger or short sword, or also some sort of like a ranged weapon, which also would be small, like a sling, or a very well. I think a hand crossbow would be hard to hide.
So when you had a quick look around before you had to duck inside, you did note that there were cutlasses, which are. There were longer ones, but some shorter ones, and they didn't look like they had like a severe curve to the blade at all, so just a slight curve. So you think that one of those could double as like a short sword if you got a hold of one. As far as ranged weapons, you did see a whole bunch of heavy crossbows. You didn't catch any you didn't see any smaller regular sized crossbows or hand crossbows in your quick assessment. The only other sort of ranged weapons you may have noted were the javelins that you saw, and there were you couldn't really get a count. Your best guess would have been at least probably 36 javelins kind of stacked at the back of the weapons rack.
So right now I'm just gonna try to take that sword thing that's more like a scimitar or something.
It's got a slight curved blade to it. It's not a full like scimitar curve, but it kind of goes down and has like a slight curve at the end. And there were some longer ones, some shorter ones.
But does this sword has a name, and do I know it?
It's called a cutlass.
A cutlass, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, so in the dark, you're going to try to reach and kind of snag one of these?
Yeah.
All right, I will have you roll
I'm going to use my advantage now.
Ooh, okay. So I'll have you roll you can either roll a straight dexterity check or sleight of hand if it's better for you to try and grab one of these in the dark.
I have a proficiency with sleight of hand, actually, so that's going to be 17.
All right, so you reach forward in the dark and carefully feel your way along the shelf until you come across one of the cutlasses, and you kind of take it from the rack in its sheath and have it in hand.
So, and I try to hide on me as best they can, or maybe, yeah. So for now, I'm gonna try to hide beneath my own clothes. So I don't think I actually managed to have my armor ladder back, right? So I'm just using.
You're just
clothes.
wearing regular, yeah, like whatever clothes you usually wear under your armor.
Okay, but since this sword has a scabbard or something.
Yes, it is in a scabbard.
So I'm just gonna try to hide on my underneath my
right.
My clothes.
Roll me another sleight of hand to see how well you hide it on your person. Ooh, all right. So you managed to kind of hide it in the length of your pants. Your pants are a little bit loose and billowy, to enjoy to keep cool in the hot sea air. So.
Man, I have so many questions if this game would be. Anyway.
All right. So meanwhile, Master Scourge has turned and just sort of stomped away across the deck, and he starts yelling up into the rigging at Conchabar, the small gnome with the purple hat. And he's just yelling obscenities at him and not making sense. And you see, as you all are standing there, you see Conchabar look down, and he sort of holds on with one hand and pulls at his mustache and says, "I can't understand you when you talk such gibberish, sir. I'll be down in a moment." And he just kind of starts making his way down the rigging as the rest of you, the four of you, are standing on deck.
Don't know. I've moved off to try and find Martin's, like immediately, because
Walks
good
away.
boy.
I think since we're supposed to find him, I actually might check out the door that I heard close.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just gonna go downstairs and find my hammock and check the hammocks to see if he went to bed or something.
Okay, so
I also say though to Barton and Manette, you guys, you don't have to do this. Just like take a breather.
Okay, so Miri is walking through to go down below. Holt is... Where are you going, Holt, when you walk away?
Well, if Bart has a direction, I'll follow him.
He doesn't
I'll
say
go
anything,
Bart
but
as
yeah,
well.
he just.
I'll go with Bart.
Alright, so all four of you head back through the door into the officers' quarters. Miri continues down the stairs, past the forlorn figure, who once again looks up as Miri goes by. This time he just kind of reaches up with the unchained hand and scratches his head and watches Miri walk by.
Are you all right?
I'm gonna wave as I go by.
He looks up the stairs where Holt is. He just kind of shrugs.
Do you happen to see Martin? No, bard-looking fella, human.
He gives you like a scrunched up face.
He's the one who likes to talk a lot.
Big old shrug again, like he's not... Either isn't sure who Martins is, or maybe isn't sure exactly what you're talking about.
No, all right, thanks.
Bart will go over to the door that he heard move or shut, and probably just like kind of quiet as he can, creak it open, and like look around inside and say, "Martins."
Yeah, but first you have to actually enter the room, and then you have, as far as I understood, you have another door from this.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
is there two? Okay.
Yeah. So they walk into the officers' quarters, and Holt had looked down the stairs as Miri went down to go down below decks. So they're inside the officers' quarters where the room is where you are, Martins. So Martins, you, as you're hiding the cutlass, you can just make a perception check for me.
Perception.
All right, so you hear them. You hear Holt muffled through the door, talking down the stairs, and then you hear the sound of someone approach, and you hear like the sound of someone starting to turn the knob on the door of the room you're in.
Is it possible that I could recognize, since he's a sort of like lizard folk, that is someone that I know, that someone is Bart. That
My
someone is
footsteps
Bart.
are probably kind of wet too, since I just got out of the bilge.
So you would hear the squishy footsteps, and you did definitely recognize Holt's voice outside.
Okay. So so Bart says something like mornings, right? Let's see. I'm actually gonna cast prestidigitation, and as far as I know, I can sort of like if I can to say so, but I can like make my voice appear from some other side of the room. Can I do that?
Something else.
So, what is it you're trying to do?
Throw us.
I want to make a sound with my prestidigitation, and that is not actually coming from me. That is coming from some other part of that.
Well, you do know where you're standing. Like you are standing in a space that is only slightly bigger than maybe a larger closet.
It's very small, yeah.
So you know that you're right inside that door. So
Yeah. So okay. So I just say, maybe. I mean, he said like, "Are you there?" I said, maybe.
Nice.
Oh, well, if you are Martins, Master Scourge would like to see us all. Just for future reference.
Right.
And if you're doing anything, that would be frowned upon, just keep it on the down low. Okay.
Always.
And then
Right now. Okay, so yeah. However,
maybe.
You should look.
I mean, I am looking. I'm kind of like peering through.
Anyway, I'm gonna just say. I'm just gonna say a bit louder. Guys, I was taken by someone, and I was thrown in here, and if you guys can help me, and and I really could use like Holt's help for this.
Okay, well,
But first, sense motive, or whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
However, as while I was here, incidentally, I found some very interesting things here, like weapons, and that maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys could use.
Someone threw you in here. Where are you? I go in.
All right. So the door opens, and Holt, the light from the officers' quarters illuminates this very small space where Martins is sort of taking up the central portion, surrounded by a weapons rack full to bursting with weapons, and all of these various sized chests that are closed and stacked around
What would
him.
someone throw you in here?
They probably thought that it would be a place that is really hidden in the ship, and they did somehow. I may have slept with some folk whose boss husband didn't really like. I don't know. Maybe, and maybe they want to get rid of me, and they just stuck me here, because and they shut me here and maybe to make me disappear or die of hunger or thirsty probably.
Well, the door's open now, so you can just get out.
You see here, it's really, I have no life here. Imagine like that.
Well, come out.
It's like a cell. It is like a cell here.
Take steps, move out of the door. Come on.
I mean, the door wasn't even locked, Martin. So you just had to knob.
It wasn't locked. You didn't even try the fucking door.
Oh my god, I forgot to check that. Of course. Why did I thought
People are gonna think you're stealing, you imbecile.
Oh, I am so dumb. I feel so dumb right now.
I walk over and I just.
So I thank you. I thank you very much, you guys, for
Can
for
I
having
do an inside check? Because even though Antoinette is naive as they come, she doesn't believe this.
So yes, Martin.
I rolled. I believe this somehow.
However, I can also roll something.
Roll a deception for me, Martin.
Just relaxed in the hammock downstairs.
Yep.
17.
Oh my god.
Yep. So, Bart, do you want to roll an insight, or are you just going with this?
Bart's just kind of amused regardless, so it doesn't matter.
As this is going on, a door slams behind the group of you.
Of course.
There's and you hear, "What is all the confounded fucking noise?" And standing on the other side of the officers' quarters, outside, now sort of stepping out from the other door that you've never really seen open, that Martin's only got a brief glimpse into, is a human female who has dark skin, these large goggles on top of her head. Her hair is various lengths. Some ends of it that are shorter are scorched as if they were burned off, and her eyes are just going from one to the next to the next. What are you all doing?
I'm sorry, I don't think we've met. I'm Holt. I'm new. That's Bart.
Oh my god, I love your
And
hair.
that's Antoinette.
Your hair looks amazing. What did you do to it? That is amazing.
I lit it on fire!
Is that how you do
Where you
hair? Should I lit light mine on fire?
Meanwhile, I'm making sure everyone leaves the room. And
I can
close
light
the
your
door.
hair on fire if I want to.
Antoinette, you're really spending too much time with me.
I'm the sailing master, of course.
You're Master of Sailing. That's so impressive.
It's a great title.
It is. Does that mean you get to like steer the boat?
That means I get to tell all of you what to do, and you're making a lot of noise while I'm trying to work.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll get out of your hair. And I
We're just
move everyone away.
We're just one.
No, shut up. Move.
Just doing a job.
Right.
That's good. Sorry.
I'm gonna follow Holt.
No, I'm pushing you all out. There's only one direction you can go.
Okay.
Right to Mr. Scourge.
Why is that door open?
It's closed. I closed it. It's
Yeah,
right.
close it. Sorry.
Sorry, what was your name?
What is my name? What do you mean you don't know my name?
I'm really bad with names. What's your name?
How many days have you been on the ship? You don't know my name.
Oh God,
Like
so much
2
trouble.
days.
I think like 4, maybe.
Okay, maybe 4. I don't know. I'm bad with days too.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
She spins on her heels and she says, "Nobody knows Peppery Longfarthing's name." And she slams the door behind her as she goes back into the little room that she was in.
So what's
I
her
see
name?
what you did.
You haven't told us
She's
her
mad.
name.
She's a very interesting woman.
It sounded like she said Peppery Longfarthing.
That is a very strange name.
It
What
is.
a name. You don't forget that name.
If at some point you guys can write down for me, I mean I do kind of can hear the names, but I don't know how to spell it. So at
Yeah,
some
that's
point
gonna
you
be
guys
a hard one to spell anyway.
Okay.
I will put it in the Zoom chat.
Zoom. But right, enough of that. Let's get a Mr. Scourge before anyone else gets upset.
Long farting. Oh no way.
It's not farting, it's farthing.
Forcing.
Long farting.
At,
Well, Well, far. Well. Okay.
So,
Okay. Let's be serious now.
so Holt, as you say about going to Master Scourge, you are ushering everyone toward the door to the main deck again, and you realize you are once again short a member of this group.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So, do you continue to usher them back onto the main deck?
I'll go
Sure.
and get
Hey, maybe we should find Mary. I think he's gone downstairs. Should we go and get Mary?
probably.
All right. Maybe you two can go get Miri then.
Yeah.
I'll make sure Martin's is accounted for with Scourge.
All right, Bart, come on, let's go and find Mary.
How can you guys lose like 2 people in a kind of few minutes?
Well, you
Unbelievable.
got grabbed by someone and thrown in a room.
How
not
exactly
my
does
fault.
this happen?
Why would they do?
My
Why?
day's only been 25 minutes long.
It might,
Okay, so-
we might be
I
at
drag-
30 minutes at this point.
Okay.
I drag Bart along and say, let's go and find Mary. He's gone back to bed.
Okay, let's find Mary.
So,
Not you.
and
Not
this
you.
time-
I'm
No,
not
no,
losing
no,
you
you're
out of my
staying
sight.
home.
You're going right in Mr. Scourge.
you're
You're
staying
telling
at
him all
home.
about that guy who like, hit you and threw you in a room. Because that's not right.
I am really like I have no idea what
Oh, you can tell
you're
Mr.
talking
Scourge all about him.
All right, Bart and I are going to find Mary.
Okay, so Bart and Antoinette, you go down the stairs to the mid deck. As you go down, 2 pigs go chasing by, and as they go running by around the corner and around the mast, one of the goats from the kitchen goes chasing after them. And as you come around the corner, you now see the large, muscled man. He's now leaning back with his head back against the wall, his mouth walled open. It looks like he may be napping. He's got drool kind of running down his chin and sort of pooling on his chest. And from across the way, as you round the corner, you see a young woman with long brown hair coming down the stairs from the captain's cabin, and she turns and looks over and she goes, "What are you lot doing?"
Who was?
I'm probably
Well, no, this is actually Antoinette and Bart who have gone down the stairs.
We're just doing our job today. Just taking care of them rats down in the bilge.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you doing?
So, looking at her, she looks like she's maybe 16, and she kind of leans against the rail of the stairs she's coming down, and she goes, "You don't get to ask me what I'm doing.
But you got to ask me what we're doing, so
Uh-huh. That's my prerogative. I get to question
that's a
you.
cool word.
You don't get to question me.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah, I'm Antoinette. Hi.
I
So
know.
would I hear this exchange beginning from back in the bunk area?
So you're down below, so you can roll a perception check to see if you notice.
Okay.
So you do hear the voices kind of coming down the stairs, and you can make out most of this conversation. And she says, "I know who you are.
Oh,
I make it a
cool.
point of knowing everybody on the ship.
Cool, that's really cool. You must know everyone here.
That's
Oh,
what I do.
Quite impressive. So what's your name?
I'm Tawny.
Pony.
Tawny. Tawny. The long
Tawny.
sound. Tawny.
Right. Wow, okay, cool. You met Bob yet?
Ain't met him,
Bart.
but I
No.
seen him at a distance.
I'm the chef's mate.
I mean, it's kind of difficult to not notice him, you know.
He's got the biggest set of teeth I've seen on the ship so far.
Have you seen his hat? His hat is super cool.
It's a nice hat.
I do try to keep up appearances, you know.
Where'd you get the hat?
Oh, it's mine. I mean, I've had it as long as I can remember.
Are you sure it's your hat?
Yes.
You know, I lost a hat just like it a couple days ago.
Did you?
I did.
But I'm pretty sure it's mine.
looks exactly like the one I was wearing.
Well, this one's mine.
Someone
I'm afraid.
stole
I
it
could
out of my
find your hat.
stuff.
That would be really cool.
Someone stole it out of
you
my
guys
stuff
could
a
be
couple
hat
days ago.
buddies.
Wait,
You
what's
guys could be hat buddies if you find your hat again. Maybe we can help you look for your hat.
Well, I think I found it right over there.
What, where? I can't see it.
No, I don't see
On
it.
top of his head.
No, but that's Bart's hat.
I'm
So
afraid this is mine.
I am going to try to sneak up the stairs and come up upon this conversation.
Okay, so you can roll me a stealth check if you want to sneak up the stairs.
So I'll make it a good one. Oh.
Doesn't know what she's getting into. She's trying to take my hat.
All
Is
right.
it actually your hat? I can't remember.
I think so.
Okay. I thought it was your hat as well, but I wasn't sure.
Bart is very attached to his hat.
All right, so you come to the top of the stairs, and you can see from where you are, you see Bart and... Actually, you don't see Bart and Antoinette where you are, Mary, but you can see Tawny on the other side, kind of leaned against the stairs. You've got a little bit of a blocked view by the mast in the center and the wall of the bedroom that Cutthroat and Fishgut share, but otherwise you can see her kind of leaning there. She's got kind of a cocky half smile on her face.
So as she says that last one, I say, "Oh, so you're the one that steals all the new recruits' stuff and keeps it for herself."
And she leans forward and looks in your direction. And then we're gonna stop there for today.
Oh, gee.
And we'll come back next time to see what her what she says about this, as she has a slightly surprised look on her face when she sees Miri standing off to the corner.
Do you wait, Martins? Next time, Mrs. Scourge is gonna see right through all that bullshit.
We'll see. We'll see that.
The question is,
I do have my ways. I do have many tricks. Don't worry about it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So yes, we will
Fun.
stop there for today as Tawny is being introduced to Bart, Antoinette, and Mary, and Holt is escorting Martins to explain that someone has kidnapped Martins and locked him in a room on the ship. It must be dealt with.
Yeah, where they keep all the valuables.
Martins is one of the valuables. I mean, come on. So we'll go around. We'll do some plugs and tell us where we can find everybody if you're doing other things online. And we will start with Dylan.
Hey, I'm Dylan. I play Bart, who's definitely not giving up his hat because various reasons. He felt very uncomfortable not having it at the start. And besides here, you can find me on twitch.tv/PowerScoreRPG on Saturdays at 3 p.m., where we are taking a little pause from Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and we're going to be playing the adventure out of the new Acquisitions Incorporated hardcover book that just came out. So come see the crazy, wild stuff that's in that.
I like it. I like it a lot. And how about Kat? What do you have going on?
Well, I'm finally, I think, realizing where I'm going to take this character, which will be fun. I think she might want to go a bit power mad, discovering powerful magic. So that's exciting. Otherwise, I don't play any other games on stream. So, but this is fun. Yay.
Excellent. And how about Paladin Hulk? What do you got going on?
Hi everybody, I'm Paladin Hulk. I'm a Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot, and I'm also a regular in Margaret Cron's viewer game, just for charity. Where do I play? Mortimer Jones, who's old, active, when he can remember to be. And that's a viewer game, so everyone can join in if they so choose.
Nice.
Which I recommend because Margaret's really cool. And that's me.
Awesome. And how about Walter? What do you got going on?
Hi people. So at the moment, I'm not actually looking for any other game because I've been having some stuff in real life. So I'm just gonna take a break. But I really enjoyed this game, so I'm just continuing to play this game. But if you can, but you can also find me on Twitter at GenlyAi _ And yeah, so as you can see, I insulted a rat, and I'm gonna be in a very tough situation. So if anyone have some money laying around or some bits laying around and can help me out, it would be really great. Even though I have some skills that I could use as well. Cheers, thank you.
You insulted a rat to death. Outstanding. And Brad, how about you?
Brad, I don't have anything else going on right now as far as me participating. I just listen and watch a whole heck of a lot more than I probably should. But I'm enjoying this game and having fun, and look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. And happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there.
Very cool. And I am Jeanette. You can find me here every other Sunday for this wonderful game. And you can also find me every other Monday for Call of Cthulhu. We just wrapped up our Wretched West game this past Monday. And I'm going to run a one-shot next Monday on I believe it's June 24th, from probably about 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., depending how long or short it runs. And on Thursday nights on Dammit Barry's Twitch, I'm playing in Horde of the Dragon Queen. I'm playing in Power Square RPG's Mad Mage game with Dylan. And on Saturday nights, I'm playing in Salt Marsh with my friend Scott over at Scotty Hood's Twitch channel. So I got a bunch of games going on. Scott's game is 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays, every other week. So that's what I got going on. So,
Nice.
Thank you all. As always, this is so much fun, and you know, you're definitely spending some time getting to know this crew and running into some crazy people. I will also say that when we come back next time, everybody will be level 2. 2. Oh, there's 2. They get a second level and some more hit points.
That's amazing.
Finally, a jack of all trades. Master of none.
Yeah, right?
A jack
I
of all
get fighting
trades.
style, I get spell casting, I get divine smite. It's gonna be
Yes. So that is good news. They've earned themselves a level, and so we'll be back in 2 weeks. And thank you to everyone who followed, donated, and hung out with us while we played our game. We appreciate it. I'm enjoying this. I love running games. And we'll see everybody soon. So everybody take care. Have a happy Father's Day. Have a great week, and get into some good trouble. Stay out of any bad trouble. And thanks for watching our Uncanny Adventure Skull and Shackles game. So goodbye, everyone. Take care, and we'll see y'all soon.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.